Hi everyone, Ernie Tech here. I thought I'd give you something, kind of a treat. I think it's a treat. I have used probably exclusively WSJT-X for the last couple of years. And I have a QRZ.com account, like most of us do, or many of us do, or some don't. What I wanted to do is I wanted to create a utility that would allow me to look at the ADI file that's buried inside of WSJT-X, the one that's inside of the support directory. What is that one in Windows? C, users, app data local, WSJT-X. Yeah, it's buried in there. But it's the ADI file that keeps track of all of your QSOs in WSJT. Or X, WSJT-X. I don't think there has been a WSJT without the X for a long time. But what I thought was, instead of having to bring up AC log all the time, especially with the limited amount of real estate that I have on my desktop, so if I crank up everything, if I crank up JT Alert and I crank up Grid Tracker and my AC log and the WSJT-X, I need like a cockpit full of monitors. But I thought, let's just have something kind of useful that's simple, straight to the point, shows me what's going on in my log, the ADI file, but not just shows me, lets me do some nifty things. So what I did was I built this in Go. And I've been playing with Go for the better part of 2 years now, and it's pretty much replaced Python for me. But I found a lot of different ways to do this. I found Bubble Tree, which is a really, Bubble Tea, not Bubble Tree, Bubble Tea from Charming something or other, Charming Charm, something like that in GitHub. What it is a file utility, a library that lets you do some nifty things in the command line screen. So right here, this is what it looks like. This is my little utility called the WSJT-X Log Viewer. I should probably shorten that name. This allows you to do things with, like over here, notice that I can use my mouse wheel in my command line to go up and down a list, which populates by Go into this nice pretty screen from the ADI file. It's the same ADI file that is being read or being manipulated if you move things from WSJT-X up into QRZ.com. That's what you move up there. That's what you copy over or upload. So it's the same thing. And I thought, well, let's see, what can I do with this? This is more than just looking at it. Let's make some utility here. How about if I'm able to look up call sign data? How about if I can actually upload that ADI to QRZ.com? Now, there's a challenge, and it took me a long time to get this thing to work right. Way too long, but I think I've got it. Plus a few other neat little features here. So let me show you. And you can get more information about it right off the bat in my GitHub. And maybe my QRZ page, I might put that out there too, but in GitHub, I'll put the link below in the description. So here it is. It's a text-only utility, runs right from the command line. There's no GUI. There's no GUI to get off your shoe. It is just this. And it reads the ADI file, doesn't do anything to it, doesn't modify it, doesn't play games with it. You're just reading it. Let's say, for instance, that on the 30th September 2025, I QSO'd with W0RLD. That's a neato call sign. It really is. Well, if I just press the F2 key, you'll notice, I can select the window. See what happens down here at the bottom? That pane right there will show you the results of a QRZ lookup. And if I just move that little wheel on the mouse, or if I use my arrow keys and pick something else like F5MNW and press F2, well, that's pretty straightforward. It's just like being in QRZ.com, except that it comes up in the text window here on the bottom pane. So that's really helpful. And it's small, and you can fool around with its size a little bit if you want. You can make it taller or shorter. It doesn't damage anything, doesn't get all cattywampus like a lot of things do. So it's neat if you don't have a lot of real estate. You don't want to crank up a full-blown logbook. You just want to use your program on your laptop, for instance, your POTA. You're out in the world. So this is how this thing works. But anyway, it's got more features than that. Let me walk you through them. So the lookup is pretty straightforward. Just scroll the wheel or use your arrows. You can't pick on it. It's a text box. So you can't use your mouth to pick it. Mouse. II6 IARU F2. The commemorative station of the 100th anniversary of IARU. Pretty cool. Okay. All right. What if I want to upload? I can upload my entire ADI file to QRZ.com, but before I do that, I got to think about this for a second. Do I want to upload the entire ADI file, or do I want to upload just things that are new or somehow changed, but things that are new? Well, you should probably just do the new ones, but you can do the whole thing if you want to. And to do that and to manage that, you just use the F4 key. And it says here, replace on, replace off. Replace duplicates false, replace duplicates true. If you do that and you upload everything, then everything's going to go, and you're going to overwrite all of the stuff that's in your current QRZ.com database. Now, I only have about 750 QSOs in this particular ADI, because I changed my call sign a year ago. So everything prior to that is in a different file. If I press F3, notice how it says, yep, status here at the bottom, I uploaded everything A-OK. Now, I didn't have any QSOs today. I've been working on this. I press F4 and say replace off. And now I try to upload using F3. It says, no, upload failed. And the reason why upload failed is because there's nothing new. Nothing happened today. Nothing's new, so nothing to upload. So if you want to upload things and overwrite what's on your QRZ-DB, that's up to you. You press F4 and say, all right, I'm going to replace it. But if you don't, you just want the new stuff, you say replace off. So that's kind of a safety valve in a way. F5 for reload, all that does is just take that ADI file and pull it back in again, 719 QSOs, at least since I changed my call sign. Now, over here, 6, F7, and F8 are 3 mode filters. They're just little utilities, kind of fun. So, for instance, if I wanted to see, I'm toggling through it. It's like the thing where you go through a wheel, you go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3. Okay, watch this. F6, band. 10 meters, this is what happened on 10 meters. This is what happened on 12. I actually have 2 contacts on 12, even though I don't have antennas for it. I really had low power. I wasn't messing around there. 21 megahertz, so 15 meters, but notice I also have MFSK and FT8. And MFSK is how it's being reported from WSJT-X for FT4, so I have to look and see what the deal is with that. Probably something I got to change. 17 meters, 20 meters, 2 meters. I've actually had 2 FT8 QSOs on 2, and 40 meters and 6 meters, and I had a few there, not too many. I actually had one with my friend Paul up in Trenton, New Jersey. He's a big EME guy, And then back to everything. What if I want to do mode? F7, same kind of a thing. Everything on FT8, everything on FT4 being reported as MFSK, and then everything, and then dates. And the way you do it by date, it goes by this past day, past 7 days, 30 days, everything. So if I want to see what I did today, press F8, but I wasn't active today, so there's nothing to show. But in the last 7 days, I did some stuff. In the last 30 days, I did a lot more, and then everything. And that's pretty much it. So if this gets cut off at the bottom, you could always just drag things over a little bit. It doesn't hurt. It's all ASCII. I gave up on trying to do coding of characters of different. I just gave up on it. There was a couple of different utilities I was working with. They didn't work. They were a pain in the neck. Find was a pain in the neck. I gave up on that. So it is all ASCII, and is just using one library called Bubble T, which is pretty minimal but pretty cool. And it just takes everything from that ADI file, the standard old WSJT-X _log.ADI. Throws it on the screen, lets you filter, do a couple of things, do a lookup. Now, if you don't, I don't know if I mentioned this, but if you don't have an account with QRZ.com, I have it set up so it doesn't fall apart or do anything dumb. It just says, I have no access to the database at QRZ.com, so you're not going to see any call sign data. Sounds right. and you can upload it, and you can protect the upload by not overwriting or overwriting whatever's out there. Will this replace a standard logbook or a logbook like AC Log or something? No, and it wasn't intended to. A friend of mine said, "This is kind of like a solution in search of a problem." And I said, no, it's sort of like another utility you can use when you don't want the full-blown logging because you're only doing FT8 and it's all kind of there. There just was never a really cutesy pie interface. And being that I really only program in the text world because I'm just not that good, this is what I got. So I hope it's useful. It's executable, so I've already built it. I don't have the code out there because I'm still not in the mood to put it out there because I have too many things to add to it over time, and so I'm not ready to let things fork off yet. But I will. And a little bit of instructions on the README section on the GitHub page, and I think it'll be a fun little tool for you if you're into FT8, FT4, whatever the case may be, any of the WSJT-X modes. This might be a lot of fun. Okay, let me know if you use it or if you find it unusable or you don't care for it or if you love it. I don't know. Whatever your thoughts are, I can take it. Leave them in the comments below and we'll talk. We'll talk about it. All right, thanks for checking in. I haven't done a lot of videos lately only because there are so many great producers of videos on ham radio out there. They really are. I can't really keep up. Some of these guys have deep pockets. That's not me. So what I do is I like to play now mostly with software, especially stuff that I can sort of design. It's a lot of fun. Anyhow, thanks for subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I'll try to keep these coming from time to time. Talk to you later. Bye for now.